We are here today at Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Italy to appreciate this work.
Yes, The Last Supper is a mural by Leonardo da Vinci created in 1498 that sits 15 feet above a cafeteria hall where monks would eat.
Unfortunately, this work has been visibly tarnished by pollution, humidity, dust, and overcrowding.
This work was done with tempera and oil paint on plaster, which was decimated by the poor conditions in which it was held.
This mural would have been viewed during monks' mealtime in order for them to contemplate their religion. Even during the breaks, the monks used this work to express their devotion and to appreciate the significance of this moment in Christian religion.
Looking at the background of this work will help us understand the essence of its purpose.
The Last Supper is classified as a high Renaissance painting due to the artist's new interest in classical ideas of beauty, similar to what we saw in Roman and Greek art. This also brings back the ideas of naturalism, in which we see these figures in poses that are realistic.
Leonardo da Vinci was born in Florence, Italy. He was a painter, sculptor, engineer, architect, and scientist, a classic Renaissance man.
Da Vinci was one of the major artists who implemented idealized geometry back from the classical periods of art. We saw this in various cultures, including Egyptian and Greek art, where they stressed the proportion of their figure.
We observe the different postures of these figures, with Jesus forming an equilateral triangle and is seated in the front of the largest window, which acts as a halo. This shows his divinity, while the apostles are in reactive and emotional poses.
Jesus also seems separate from the apostles in the center, making it clear he is the center of attention and divine.
The apostles are put into 4 groups of 3, where each person is reacting to Jesus saying that one of them would betray him.
Each group is reacting in their different ways, but they're all in a similar panic. They're fearful of being the one to betray him, and they're trying to prove that they wouldn't be the one to betray them to the other apostles in the group.
Yes, and the only one who is in a shadow is Judas. He appears to be the lowest sitting apostle, and of course, in the Bible, he is the one to betray Jesus.
His body language shows his insecurity, as he knows that he would be the one most likely to betray him. And it seems like he asks, "Is it me, Jesus?" Judas is also seen grasping a small bag, symbolizing the silver he has been paid to betray Jesus. He has also knocked over a salt pot, another symbol of betrayal.
But of course, Jesus already knows that it will be Judas who betrays him.
Certainly. What's really interesting about this are the individualistic features we see in each apostle possess that as they react.
We see that the most expressive is Peter, who is rushing towards Jesus, pushing Judas back in need of knowing the betrayer. He's holding a knife ready to defend Jesus, which foreshadows that Peter will sever the ear of a soldier as he attempts to protect Christ from arrest.
The sense of motion that is achieved highlights the complexity of the painting. Looking closer at the composition of each of these figures, we can see that the rule of 3 is used repeatedly.
This was clearly meant to convey the Holy Trinity that is believed in the Christian faith, that is, God is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Da Vinci's intention with this painting is to express the importance of this moment, with emotional reactions and figures. He wanted to make the magnitude of the moment evident in his work.
Looking at other works in the High Renaissance era, we can compare Raphael's The Marriage of the Virgin to The Last Supper.
The Marriage of the Virgin was created in 1504, well into the High Renaissance period, and uses the same fundamentals as The Last Supper.
We can see the geometric proportions and understanding of perspective evolve into an ornate style choice. There's a new understanding in the creation of space and depth.
Again, we see expressive figures with individual emotions peppering the scene with a multitude of reactions that draws the viewer's eyes towards each moment. Yet, the married virgin is similarly placed in the center, slightly separate from the others, bringing the viewer's eyes first to her.
Raphael has the same stylistic choices as Da Vinci, but in a new way that has progressed from a series of trial and errors. The human figures possess a new sense of humanity. The building in the background is made in the round, and the composition is more organized in a manner that alludes to the classical styles.
Da Vinci's The Last Supper clearly made an impact on the way artists considered their works during the High Renaissance. He began a new era in which the old abandoned style made their triumphant return to the spotlight of art.